Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Taylor Wilde. Welcome back to Wilde On Season 4, the podcast where you get the insider's view of the weird, wild, wonderful world of wrestling on Wednesdays. Whether you enjoy watching or listening exclusively to podcasts, the Wilde On team has got you covered. Head on over to the Wilde On channel, click subscribe, and you will never miss any of the weird, wonderful, wild content that we bring to you every Wednesday when we get wild on Wednesdays. And please check out any major platform you enjoy listening to podcasts because Wilde On is everywhere. On to today's guest, who is a former WWE NXT superstar. She is an Aussie living in the land of wrestlers. That's right, Orlando, Florida. She's strong and towers over many of her opponents, coming in at 5'11". Ladies and gentlemen, my girl, Steph De Lander. So have you been doing much anything wrestling related since NXT?
I've done some indies.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had a few matches since getting released, so that's been fun, but I'm just being a little bit more selective of what I'm doing and just trying to play it smart and make sure I'm doing stuff that I want to do at places that I want to be against opponents that I want to work with. So yeah, I'm trying to find a nice balance of still, making sure I'm happy with what I'm doing, but staying active and all that good stuff.
Good for you. And it's probably where you are in your career too. Like I find that I love doing indies. I hate doing indies in the same breath, but if it's with somebody I want to work with, that makes all the difference. You probably get into the ring with some people and you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah, there's when I was younger and my body felt 1,000% and I was 18 and I was willing to do all the dumb stuff and wrestle anyone just for the experience, I was up for anything. But yeah, now a few years in and everything is a little bit more important and matters a bit more to me, and I don't need that. Yeah, as I said, when you first start training and you really need every single match and all of the exposure and all of the reps and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm just in a different boat. So yeah, I'm doing things a little bit differently, but I'm still enjoying it.
And it's an exciting place to be. It's like your next chapter.
It is. Yeah, it's cool to have a bit more power and be able to do that and not feel like you have to do every single thing that comes your way.
Yes.
Just for the sake of it. So I know a lot of people do that and love to do that, and that's cool, but I like to try and find a balance between real normal life and wrestling to keep me sane. So
you have to
yeah, you really do. Yeah,
but you decided to stay in the land of wrestling. You're staying in Orlando.
Definitely. Yeah, I love Florida.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I know a lot of people say a lot of different stuff about Florida, and there's a lot of crazies here, but I love it. The weather is similar to Australia, so it's been an easy transition in that front. I love the beach. I love swimming and hot weather and stuff. So I think I would struggle a lot more if I was living in a snow city.
Yeah, no. I
yeah, I'm thankful that I live somewhere warm. And all my friends are here as well. Everyone that I kind of met through WWE and even knew beforehand, everyone's within 20 minutes. So it kind of seemed silly to set my roots here when I moved here 18 months ago and then uproot myself again and try and start again somewhere else. It just made more sense to stay here.
God, isn't that crazy? It was just 18 months ago that you came here. What a whirlwind.
Yeah, I know. It's been a roller coaster.
So I never ever want to throw shade at any company. I'm a former developmental girl. It was different in my time. It was 2005, so the developmental system was different. NXT didn't exist. It didn't have this big, beautiful, shiny show. My body went through the same thing. I went probably through a lot of the same mental struggles. What has been the biggest difference for you post WWE, from a mental aspect? Has it been a huge weight off your chest? Has it been a relief? Has it been I'm not done?
I mean, I think there's a lot of different emotions that go into it. I think there was a layer of relief in a sense of I was worried about getting released when I worked there, just because at the time lots of releases were happening.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a constant worry. So there was a layer of like, okay, well, that happened. Like, I thought that was going to be the worst thing to ever happen to me, and it happened, and I'm dealing with it. So that was a relief. But there's definitely still the feelings of, like, not being done. And because I was there for such a short period of time, and I was on TV a lot, but I feel like there were a lot of things that I didn't get to do that I thought I was going to do and hoped to do. So there is that kind of feeling of like a lot of unfinished business.
Yep.
But at least, I'm still only 25, so I have a lot of time, and there are a lot of other opportunities within wrestling that aren't WWE, which is also very exciting, because I know up until a few years ago, it was kind of WWE was the be all end all.
Yep.
So it's exciting that there's other stuff around, and also the business model with WWE now kind of changing again opens doors too. So it's definitely not a hopeless situation to be in. It's kind of just like it's a detour of my path.
Absolutely. And I think that's like one thing that's different now, especially in the last like 5 to 10 years, is it's more of a revolving door. Just because you get fired or released or whatever we want to call it, doesn't mean that that's it. Your career is done. You've been released from WWE. No one wants you. Like you said, there's competition now. They're hiring people back. Like, it's a really exciting time to be kind of a free agent, because you get to select now. Like, you have name value. I think you're in a good place.
Yeah, that's how it feels too. It definitely, in a way, it is empowering knowing that there are a lot of options on the table, and it can be a bit more selective with what I do, and I do kind of have the choice to do what I want.
Yep.
And even when I signed my contract, being an Australian, you take whatever is offered to you straight away, because you need the visa.
It's like being a Canadian.
Yeah, exactly. And you understand what it's like.
Oh, yes.
You need to get out of your home country, and you need that visa. So you don't really have any leg to stand on to negotiate anything, or to even think twice. It's just the first place that's going to offer you a visa to move to America, you're going to do it. So now that I'm here in America and I have my own visa and stuff, I have a little bit more kind of independence and power to do what I want to do. And that's a cool spot to be in as well.
I'm really excited for you. I think this next chapter is going to be big, and you are so young. You can do so much.
It is. Yeah, it's exciting. As I said, I didn't expect it, but I'm not heartbroken. It's an exciting place to be. So that's cool.
So for people that don't know, there's a lot of restrictions when you are under contract in terms of like your physical appearance. So how many tattoos and piercings have you gotten since you are no longer with the company?
I've only gotten one tattoo since I've been released, but I only have 3, and they're all tiny. I only started dabbling in tattoos within the last year.
Okay.
And I'm still kind of mindful of like, I don't know. I haven't I don't know. I feel like I haven't committed yet. I really want a sleeve. Like, I think at some point I'm just going to go screw it and just get a full sleeve.
So I get it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go lose my mind completely and get a sleeve. But for now, I'll just keep getting piercings. I've gotten a few since I've been released. I think I only got 2 more lip piercings, but I've had most of my piercings since I was like 14. So
really?
Yeah, I went through a phase when I was really young and just got heaps of piercings, and now they're like a part of me, and I feel really weird when I don't have them. I know WWE is weird with like tattoos. Like, I know you've got to get tattoos approved and stuff, but like I kept adding piercings when I was there, and no one questioned me. So whatever.
Because I guess you could always take it out. You know what I mean?
I can just take it out.
Yeah.
So, and I think also because like Matt Bloom is the head coach, and like he has like the 3 lip rings. So like he and I bonded over piercings. So like I don't think they would never.
It's very Prince Albert.
I know, because I used to just have the one here, and one day he was like, "Oh, you should get the snake bites as well." And I was like, "I wanted to," but at the time I was making out on TV every week, and I was like, "I need these to have time to heal."
Sure,
like, I can't get 2 lip rings if I'm kissing someone on TV every week.
I can't do my job.
Exactly. So he was like, that is so funny. So once I got released, I was like, okay, I'm finally going to get the snake bites.
I love it. Okay, let's stop talking about wrestling. Wrestling's boring. Let's talk about you.
Yeah, I agree. Too much.
Let's talk about things that listeners might not have had the opportunity to find out about you because it's not available on your Instagram or your wiki, because all the information about female wrestlers is pretty standard, like height, name, where
Yeah.
you're from, little indie material. Let's talk about, do you have
Yeah.
any like weird phobias?
Phobias? Oh, I'm terrified of cockroaches.
Oh, in Florida, it's cockroach city. It doesn't matter how clean your house is, girl.
Bro, a cockroach in Florida has nothing on a cockroach in Australia. I tell you that much. I've moved to Florida and I'm like, oh my God, there's no bugs. Like, that's how bad it is in Australia. Like, it's insane. So that would be, yeah. Cockroaches and like the big Australian spiders, I can't handle.
Well, I heard I couldn't even tell you who it was. I heard a comedian, an Australian comedian, who's now moved to England, and his wife is English, and she doesn't like to kill spiders, and so he came into a room to kill the spider for her, and he couldn't find the spider, and he's like, I don't fucking understand. Yeah. In Australia, the spider finds you.
Oh yeah, like the spiders in Australia are as bad as people think they are. Like, it's insane. And the funny thing about that with them being English is when I'm in Florida and I hang out with like Dewdrop or Kaylee Ray, who are both Scottish,
yes,
they have like the smallest bug on them and they will freak out. Like, it's just like the most insane thing. I'm like, wow, people from like the UK can't handle any sort of bug whatsoever. It's so funny. I'm like, bro, you should see like what we grew up with. Like, it's so bad.
I assume when you walk out your door as an Australian, like everything can kill you, like bugs, birds, reptiles. Like, it's like truly the survival of the fittest.
It is, yeah. It's you learn to just be at peace with it. There's nothing you can do. It's just part of where you live. You take the good with the bad. Like, Australia is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
But yeah, there are lots of things that can kill you there. But there's no alligators walking down the street, so Florida is not that safe either.
That's yep. Or sex offenders. Probably not as many sex offenders as there are in Florida.
Not as many criminals or guns, but that's a whole other scenario. So we won't even touch that one.
We'll leave that one.
Yeah.
It's Florida. It's Florida. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
What career would you choose if you weren't a professional wrestler, or did you have a career pre-professional wrestling?
So I had a career pre-professional wrestling.
Okay.
I was a hairdresser. Yeah, crazy, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, so weird. So not me. That was what I wanted to do when I was a kid. That was like my realistic dream, if that makes sense. So like as a kid, I always wanted to wrestle and loved wrestling and stuff, but I didn't even know wrestling existed in Australia. I didn't know where to start. So like my real life, when people would ask me when I was a kid what I wanted to do, it was be a hairdresser. So I was a hairdresser before wrestling, but now I definitely would be a zookeeper. That's like my dream. Like when I quit hairdressing, I had literally enrolled into a zookeeping course, but then I pulled out of it because I started training to wrestle instead.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's like a burning love for me. That's always there, and that's what I'll do when I retire.
What is your favorite animal?
I love sharks. I know that's not like zookeeping. I know that's aquarium, and I initially wanted to work in the aquarium, but then I realized that like most of your day is cleaning fish tanks, and I have my own fish tanks to clean, so I'm like, I don't need to go and do that as a job. But yeah, sharks would be my favorite animal. But as far as something that I would be working in a zoo, I would probably want to be with like either the reptiles or like the Australian wildlife section.
So you're good. You're like, I don't care that these things could kill me. Like, this is who I am. This is my lineage. Bring me to the Aussie
only
section.
Thing that I can't handle is like really small, like as I said, like spiders and cockroaches. I don't like.
Fair.
But like I love reptiles and everything else.
That's cool. What about sharks is it that you love so much?
I think, I don't know, this is pretty sadistic, but I think I just love the fact that they're so big and so powerful, and they just like, they own the ocean. Like they're just like literally the apex predator. And I don't know, they're one of the few things in the world that humans can't mess with. Like they own us, and I think that's really cool.
I love that.
Like
That's a great
humans
answer.
try, like they try to, and they, you know, do shark nets and they culling and all that kind of stuff, which is like awful. But
Yep.
I don't know, there's something so cool about something being like a natural force that is just so like strong and powerful. I think it's awesome.
It's like a respect. You respect the animal so much.
Yeah. It's just such a it's a respect thing. It's really
I love
cool.
that. Are you a podcast or a book reader or an Audible book reader?
I'm an undiagnosed ADHD, so I struggle with all of those things.
I hear you.
I try my best.
Yeah.
Like I try to read. It takes me a long time to get through books.
Okay.
Like I've been on the same book for 6 months now. So I do a few pages at a time when I'm lying by the pool. I do like podcasts, like if I'm doing a long drive or something, like if I need to be distracted.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. My attention span struggles.
You know what? And it gets worse as you get older, and you got to figure out like your fucking Zen place to like be able to do one thing at a time, or do all the things at the same time. Listen to a podcast and read a book. Maybe that's the solution.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe I have to write my own book and then I'll find it interesting.
Ooh.
Isn't that narcissistic? Maybe if it was about me, I would like it.
I mean, we all have our strengths. Like narcissism is a strength to some people, except my ex-husband. Fuck him.
That's so funny.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Oh my God, I hate karaoke.
Me too. It's so embarrassing.
For someone who's a performer, I get such like stage fright when it comes to karaoke.
Same.
But if I had to pick a song, it would be Tribute by Tenacious D.
Oh, talk about a marathon of a song. Like,
yeah, like that would be, if I'm going to commit and go balls to the wall, it would definitely be Tribute. Yeah.
I love that. Do you like Jack Black movies then? Like, do you like School of Rock?
I mean, School of Rock's great. I'm not like a huge Jack Black fan. I think me and my friend, just when we were kids, like, used to sing that song all the time, so I know it word for word. I know it back to front, and it's always such a fun song. So yeah, I would choose that. When I was in NXT, we had like a PC live show.
Okay.
And it was like a talent show. Yeah. And MSK, so like Wesley and Nash Carter, they got in the ring and they did a rendition of Tribute, and they had like cardboard cutout guitars and were like air guitaring, and like Wes did a backflip, and it was the most amazing. I was like the only one in the crowd that like cared. Like everyone cared, but like that was like my favorite song. I was like, yes. So that was really funny.
That is really, really funny. I love that.
Yeah. I was like, someone else has the same karaoke song as me. That's crazy.
Do you have like a secret talent outside of being a wrestler, obviously?
Talent's a stretch on that one. I do what I need to get by. Secret talent, I don't know. I don't think so.
You know, like some people, like it doesn't have to be like.
I can tap dance. That's pretty wild.
Were you a dancer growing up?
I was a dancer. I danced for 10 years.
What?
Yeah. Everyone, whenever someone hears that, they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm positive." I danced. I did ballet, tap, jazz, and hip hop, but tap and hip hop were like my main ones.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I know. I've been like toying with the idea of doing like an adult tap class recently, just because I've got too much spare time on my hands. So I think I'm just going to commit and do it.
You know what? It's not to get like hippy dippy, but like I very much am into witchcraft, like tarot. I get my readings done all the time, astrology. It's part of who I am. And I just got a tarot reading, and just like out of nowhere, the girl's like, I don't know why I'm even telling you this because it's not really that important, but she's like, you should sign up for like a adult dance class, like something that's like very feminine, because all you do is be in your masculine energy. And it's true, like I'm a wrestler, I'm a firefighter, I am a mom, but you know, my life is pretty much surrounded by men, and I do really masculine things. And I thought, you know what, that's a really great idea. That's like a good way to balance out your life and just not think about wrestling. So I encourage you, take an adult tap class or jazz class or whatever.
I will. Have you done it yet? Have you signed up?
So I just picked a place that's near me, and I'm actually going to do pole. And it's only because I love those TikTok videos of girls like in their like stripper shoes. And like, I know it's a good workout because there's not a lot of strippers that are in like bad shape. They got good legs.
I know. I've been thinking about it too.
Do it. Because like they do everything. Like they do like twerking classes, they do like floor work, and I just think like it's something so silly and something so different. Like everything we do involves like being tense and like beating our bodies up, where this is like the complete opposite, and being in your feminine and really being able to own that. So like let's do it.
All right.
This is your
Lock
sign.
Sounds good. I'll text you once I do it. That's my sign. Thank you. I needed that.
Yes. Good. Yay. Maybe that message was for you too. So that's awesome.
Legit. That's great. I love that.
If you live in the Toronto area, come see me live this Sunday, September 18th at the Rec Room in Toronto, when Smash Wrestling presents International Fight Night. I'll be facing Nikita for the very first time. It's all happening this Sunday at the Rec Room, beginning at 5 p.m. It's going to be a lot of sweaty, stinky men rolling around, but best of all, me and Nikita battling it out for world domination. You can get all the info on their website, smash-wrestling.com. That's smash-wrestling.com, or at Smash Wrestling on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. This will be one of the last chances you can catch me in Canada before I return to TV this fall. So come on out, say hello, and let's get wild. Did you have a favorite subject? Were you into sports? Were you a band geek? Like, what was your flavor in high school? Did you go to school? Did you just cut class all the time?
Yeah, I went sometimes. I went when it suited me, when I felt like it.
That's like Tony Storm. She's like, I like was the worst student ever. I
was so bad.
Just 50% get out, just pass.
Yeah, no, I was so bad. I dropped out of school when I was 15.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a miracle that I am where I am. No, I hated school. I didn't enjoy it. I got bullied all through high school.
Really?
Yeah. So
You're such a badass.
I moved high school twice. Like I started at one school, went to another one, then went back. And then, when I was 15, in Australia, you can do what's called like an apprenticeship. Whereas like if you get a job in a trade, you can leave school at the end of year 10 and start working. So basically I left school when I was 15, and the next day I started working full-time as a hairdresser. So I hated school and I loved working. Like when I was in year 10, so when I was 15, I was working at a cafe, a cake store, and a hair salon, and going to school, kind of. So I had 3 jobs and was going to school because I loved working and earning money, and I just hated school.
You were hustling. You were hustling hard.
Yeah, like straight up. As soon as I realized that I could like earn my own money and like that I would rather work, I just like went straight into it.
By no means am I saying like you shouldn't go to school, because let's be real. We should finish school, high school, but how you do academically has no bearing on work ethic and where you're going to go. And to any of our listeners that have, there's so many professional wrestlers who grew up being bullied, and I don't know what the connection is, because you end up growing up to be these superheroes, and I think you secretly do it to heal like that inner child maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to delve too much, but like what were they bullying you about? Because you're such a fucking badass. I don't even understand.
I was getting bullied about my size. So I was taller than everyone, and I was also a bigger girl. So I mainly got bullied for being fat, even though I was really never majorly overweight. But I also like dyed my hair black, so I got called an emo. I got my eyebrow pierced, so I got bullied for being a lesbian. Like everything that you could make fun of a girl for being. I got made fun of for. Grew up in like a small beachy town in Australia where all of the girls were super, super thin and small and blue eyes and blonde hair and tanned. And I was super tall and black hair, just the complete opposite of what everyone else was.
Right.
So yeah, I got bullied for that.
Isn't that like the most empowering fuck you that you have done in your life? Because what you were bullied for is actually your superpower. It's made your career. All those things are who you are and why you've been so successful in your professional wrestling career. So fuck them. I'm sure they're still in that small little town.
They are. They're all still there. And it's completely true. Like I spent almost my entire life wishing I was shorter, wishing I was skinny, wishing I was all of these things. And then I started wrestling and realized like, oh shit, all of those things are the reason why I do well, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Congratulations to you, because that's, you know, we kind of gloss over it like so many wrestlers were bullied, but that's, you know, that's make or break in your life. Those are your formative years. Like, you know, that's building your self-worth. And was it wrestling that kind of bridged that gap for you? Is that where you built your confidence, or was it working, or what was it for you?
I would say it's wrestling. Yeah, I would say it was mainly wrestling. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of moments where you have self-doubt and you still get insecure and all of those things. But yeah, being in an environment where, as I said, I was, you know, made to feel like my size was the worst thing about me. And then, you know, starting in this new world in wrestling where even in like my early days, like I would meet people and coaches and stuff, and they would be like, oh, you're going to do so well, like, because of how big you are. And I'm like, what do you mean? Is that good? And they were like, yep, that's great. And I would be like, really? Yeah, so that was like a good confidence boost straight away.
Well, I'm proud of you. And I hope if there's anyone listening that they can take that and, you know, take their differences as actually power. Don't ever dim your light for anyone, because that's what sets you apart. That's what makes you amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, wrestling's a variety show, and if everyone looked the same, it wouldn't be very entertaining, would it?
Nope, not at all. We're just a band of misfits, all just trying to do our best.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's wrap this up and do my top 10 tailor-made questions. It's a little bit of a speed round, but don't feel rushed in your answers. Okay, ready?
All right.
Okay, what's one beauty product you cannot live without?
The Kat Von D Tattoo Lock Foundation, for sure.
It's good shit. All KVD stuff is good. Her lipsticks, too, I find never come off.
They're great for wrestling. Like, you need heavy-duty shit that doesn't go anywhere.
And the colors are epic. Like, you can't get, I think Motorhead is my favorite one. It's like this dark burgundy. Anyways, it's great. Get K Von D products and sponsor the show, and Steph De Lander, please. Thank you.
Yes, please. Send us free stuff.
Yeah, please. We need it. What is your favorite exercise?
Deadlifts. They hurt my back, but it's my favorite exercise by far. My back hurts all the time, but
give and take.
Pretty strong, and it's lots of fun, so I would say deadlifts.
Love it.
Yeah.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
People who are dishonest. I can't handle lying.
Are you a pretty good read of person? Can you tell pretty quickly if someone's disingenuous, or just you can just not tolerate liars?
A bit of both. I think I can judge it pretty well, but I also find it very hard to like see past it if someone has lied.
That's understandable, and there's lots of that in this business.
Lots of that in wrestling, isn't it?
Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, Megan Thee Stallion for sure.
Did you see that? Did you see that interview that The Rock was like, I want to be her pet?
Yes. Everyone wants to be her pet. She's, you know why she's great? Because the main reason why I love her is because she's gone, I'm tall and I'm thick and you guys absolutely lose your minds over me. And it's like, hell yeah. It's cool to have a role model that's not trying to make themselves smaller, you know?
And that's it. Isn't that cool that that's where we are as women? That's where our generation is. Like, we've got our Lizzos. We've got Megan Thee Stallion. Like, it's...
That's what I needed when I was a kid. So it's cool that exists now.
Guess what? You're that for somebody out there, too.
Yeah, that's really cool when I think about that.
Yes! Who is your favorite band or artist?
Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, I love Wu-Tang.
Do you have a secret vice, like drinking a glass of wine in the shower?
I love a meat lovers pizza with cheesy stuffed crust every now and again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a banger. That has to happen, I would say, once a month. Just to keep me together.
That's delicious. I love a stuffed crust. It could even be a frozen pizza.
So many people hate stuffed crust. I love stuffed crust.
I don't trust anybody that doesn't love a stuffed crust pizza.
I agree.
What wrestler has the best entrance music?
I would say probably D-Generation X is the best.
You just know. You just know what's coming.
Yeah, you just know.
What is your drink of choice?
Like alcohol or non-alcoholic?
Totally up to you.
My drink of choice would be a oat milk cappuccino.
Oh, so fancy.
Yeah, I'm a fancy gal. That's the Australian in me. Australians love their coffee.
Canadians love their coffee, but shit coffee. Australians like nice coffee.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. What has been your most embarrassing moment in the ring?
I feel like I've done a lot of embarrassing stuff, but what comes to mind is I was in a Royal Rumble, and my friend was laying, he was like on the floor behind me, and Grayson Waller actually hit me with a strike, and I stepped backwards to sell, but I stepped on my friend, and then I just slipped over and landed on my ass sitting on top of him. And there was no way to recover it, so the whole crowd just started laughing, and Grayson looked at me and was like, "What is going on?" and just came over and like started stomping on me. I have the video of it. It's so funny. But yeah, it was just
God.
Like I just literally slipped and fell on my ass, and yeah, that was pretty bad.
Like, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. Like, just
I literally sat there and looked around. I was like, well, I can't recover this. This is terrible.
Where can our listeners find you on the interwebs? What is your social media handles?
Twitter and Instagram is at Steph De Lander. I don't bother with my Facebook page anymore. My OnlyFans is the same, Steph De Lander. It's all just my name. Very simple.
Perfect. Okay, yes. Last one. Finish this lyric, but I'm going to talk it because it's meant to be talked. This is the greatest and best song in the world. A tribute.
Yeah.
Long time ago, me and my brother Kyle here, we were hitchhiking down a long and lonesome road.
All of a sudden, there's the shiny demon in the middle of the road. And he said, I'm not going to keep going because I'll do the whole thing.
That's perfect. Oh my God. The fact that you just knew the talking intro, I was like, say no more, say less. You nailed it.
I love that you try and catch everyone out if they actually know their own karaoke song though. That's so funny. You're just trying to expose fake fans.
No, you know what it is? Like, so I started that portion of this show because like you, I fucking break out in hives thinking of singing in front of people or like karaoke. So I'm all for like making myself feel uncomfortable and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So that's why I do it, and I sing badly every episode, and I'm just like, you know what, it's not so bad, I don't really give a shit anymore. But that one was a talking one.
I love it.
Thank you for that.
Well, that one's you have to talk it. That's the way it is. Maybe that's why I've picked it, because I can do it and not have to sing.
Mine's Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads. Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Same shit.
It's the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for making this time to do my show. This was really, really fun.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
What a wonderful episode with a female professional wrestler that I've known of for years. I've watched on WWE TV for 18 months, and I've finally had the opportunity to speak to. And of course, she's a gem and an animal lover. And I feel like we got to talk about so many fun topics that you wouldn't get anywhere else except the Wilde On podcast, because it is a candid view in a conversation between two female professional wrestlers. On a side note, I want to thank all of you, all my listeners, all my viewers. Today was a really hard day for me. I had a really bad, hard, messy call at work yesterday. I had some things go on in my personal life that really brought me down. I was really exhausted. I had a bad night shift, didn't get much sleep. And I had a big cry this morning, and I'm really fortunate to have good friends and family around me. But what's really brought me up is I got to record for GAW tonight with Lisa Marie Verone, or Vachon, and Mickey James, and my good dear friend SoCal Val. And then I've been able to do my own interviews. And having this creative outlet and being able to speak to so many different women who are going through so many different things and all getting together for the same greater good, which is empowering women, empowering each other, and supporting what we all love and why we all know each other, and that is professional wrestling. So thank you, all my listeners and viewers, for bringing me back up from a really challenging day. And this is why I do what I do. And, sometimes I'm too tired and it's hard, but as soon as I get rolling, as soon as I get my game makeup on, I'm good to go. And I'm really thankful that I have Wilde On, and all of you make it possible. And to the people who allow me to do it and make it possible is my badass punk rock girl band, the Wilde On team. Thank you, my queen, my right-hand woman, editor and producer, Rochelle Duras, the woman who does all the things on the interwebs that I don't understand and markets them and makes everything fantastic, Madison Golshani, and to our sweet baby angel assistant, helper extraordinaire, and the woman that sings the Wilde On podcast theme and my entrance music, Sam Smith. And for all our last-minute crises, we have Matteo Cezza, our sound engineer from Superkick Studios in Toronto. Thank you. I love you all. And until next week, keep calm and wild on.